Hey there, so it's laundry day, so it's pretty much I plan to do like kind of like a horror shirt type of thing. Anyway, tonight I wanted to do something else for Halloween. I've been trying to upload Halloween videos, pretty much like Halloween suggestion videos, and I've been going through and I've been trying to stay away from like the Scream Factory and the Arrow and all those ones that I've already done because I've done like complete collection videos and that. But tonight I kind of wanted to challenge myself. I've talked about Arrow and Scream Factory a lot, and companies like 80 Films and like the genre companies. So, but tonight I wanted to go back to that well again, and I wanted to look at all my Arrow and my Scream Factories. Now, when I did this, there was like one condition. There's not going to be none of the like the oversized box sets. There's going to be none of the multi-disc, multi-film sets. So stuff like the Halloween complete collection or Arrow's deep red stuff that wouldn't be in this here video. That being said, I was going to take 12, only 12 of my Scream Factories, only 12 of my Arrows, and hopefully give you guys some really cool suggestions for to watch during the Halloween season. We'll go through them one by one. I'll talk about why I chose the ones that I chose, and maybe you can ask me, maybe you can give me suggestions down below on other ones, or mention ones that you think that I should have had on my list. Obviously, lists are subjective, so hopefully you enjoy this and you'll find some stuff that either you want to watch that you haven't watched, or maybe you'll think of rewatching it. I got to give it a quick shout out here because this idea for this video came. I was watching, as you guys know, I'm getting ready to go over to England on a trip, and I've been watching some videos. Like you guys know, I've been watching Toddy Walnuts, like collection videos and stuff like that, to see like, okay, this is what I need to fill in my collection. These are the ones I want to get. So I've been kind of going around. I'm trying to see like different UK people on there that do stuff like Sparky Gerbil, and but I found a girl tonight that's really good. Damn, her channel just live. You can't be live, can you? We haven't even got to credit sequence yet. Deadly Dames Horror Extravaganza. She's from the UK. If you have not checked her out, man, she has some awesome stuff. She got some great lists, some great, some awesome like some steelbook collection stuff like that. So, Deadly Dames Horror Extravaganza. If you haven't checked her out, really do check her out. Give her a sub. The girl definitely deserves way more subs than she's got. I found her channel. We're looking for some 80 film stuff tonight. I was looking for like kind of like the different things. I noticed that HMV is having a sale on right now. So if any of my friends are over in the UK and you're watching this right now, can you please find out for me, or if that HMV 88 film sale, the 5 for 31. I know that here in North America, the 88 film sales usually go on for like 3 to 4 weeks type of thing. There's not usually just a 1 week thing. It's usually like they're there for a while. So hopefully I'm going to the UK and I will be there on October the 2nd. And one of the first places I'm going to hit up are HMV and FOPS. So if you guys know like how long that sale is going on for, please let me after October 2nd when I actually reach there. Thank you guys. I'll be right back. I'm going to do a list. So that's 12 Scream Factories and 12 Arrow videos. Not the that you should watch during Halloween season. Here we go. I kid you not, take 5. So when Arrow and Scream Factory do a lot of their stuff, they actually work with certain directors over and over again. So what I wanted to do was make sure I only chose one film from each of those directors in there. So basically, you're not going to see 2 Wes Cravens or 2 John Carpenters or anything like that, or even 2 Fulcis or Babbitts. It was really hard to narrow it down to see which one I was going to put on the list. But here we go with the top 12. Let's start with number 12 on the Scream Factory list. We'll go back and forth. Number 12 on Scream Factory is Ginger Snaps. It's a great exploitation of werewolf film, really cool. Emily Perkins and Catherine Isabelle do amazing jobs in this film. I find this one a lot of fun. I didn't really know that I was going to get into this one as much as I did. For years, I only had like the 4-pack and and I think the limited edition, well not limited edition, but the Canadian one with all the features on it. So this one actually was able to best both of those. Just did a great job. It's a wonderful Blu-ray. There's a great making of on here. Ginger Snaps is a great little film. It's about two sisters that are kind of very emo, very goth, very morose, and they come upon something that changes one of their lives. One of them becomes a werewolf, and obviously there's a lot of parallels and like you can take to the this and womanhood and basically like the basically becoming your own person, like a lot of really cool stuff. It is just a great cool horror film though. It is amazing on its own. They just did a great job. You will not you can't miss having this one. If you're no matter where you are, you should have Ginger Snaps in your collection. Number 12 on the Arrow list is What Have You Done to Solange? This is actually Camille Keaton, who you guys would better know for, of course, what I like to call Day of the Woman, but best known as I Spit in Your Grave. I'm not going to start over again. This is a really cool giallo, and I wanted to have this one on the list. I recently picked this one up, and I'm a big fan of it. It is giallos can deal with different topics, and they can do it in some really interesting ways. Don't Torture Duckling by Lucio Fulci is obviously a really good one that I would love to see Scream Factory tackle. But this is an amazing giallo. I really love this one, the way that it was done, like the style of it. If you haven't checked out What Have You Done to Solange, I do recommend it. Please go in spoiler free because it has a really cool mystery to it, and even if you do figure it out, it's a fun ride along the way. That's number 12 for Arrow. Number 11 for Scream Factory is a really cool one, and that is Army of Darkness. This is what I chose for my Sam Raimi. Army of Darkness is a great movie. It's, of course, not strictly horror, not like Evil Dead was, but Evil Dead 2 played it more into kind of humorous territory. So this one goes really overboard with a lot of kind of homages to Three Stooges and stuff like that. But it's really cool stuff. There's amazing stuff. There's actually 4 editions of this film on here. 4 editions, and still the internet, certain members of the internet bitch because a 3-second scene was missing. I'm kidding you not. And it was on other editions, so it was on other movies as well. That's just a pet peeve of mine. But I really do like this one. There's some great features on here. It's a really fun roller coaster ride of a movie. It's kind of a fun one you can sit down and watch. You don't always have to be the really intense horror or the really kind of the darker stuff. This can be kind of a fun horror one you can actually watch with some people around. There's certain ones that you're definitely okay, I'm watching this movie alone, or I'm watching this movie with a friend of mine that really understands my dark impulses. But no, this is a really fun one you can watch with a lot of people. It's a really cool one. Obviously, it's spawned since the TV series. It's become very popular, called Ash vs. Evil Dead. But I love Army of Darkness. It is a great film, and I watch it often. And hey, this is where the Xenia came from. Number 11 on Arrow is a much darker one that that a bunch of your friends are probably not going to watch with you unless you have some very dark, twisted friends. What are the odds? This is a really great edition, and it's a great film. Basically, Donald Cammell did his version of a slasher film, but he really did it different. He made it dark. He made a character study. It is just an amazing, gripping, intense film. You don't see things like this so much nowadays as you did back then. There's a bit of experimentation. Such great Kathy Moriarty in this. Did an amazing job in this. I like David Keith, right? I always say Keith David for some reason, but David Keith did an amazing job in this as well. David Keith also would go on to be one of my favorite movies that I don't have any edition of, which I'm hoping they'll come out on Blu-ray sometime sooner. If it's out on Blu-ray, comes out in a good edition on Blu-ray that I can actually see somewhere. That's a movie called Lords of Discipline. I do recommend, if you haven't seen that movie, it's a really good movie. Check it out. Boy the Eye is a really fantastic film. As a great bonus on here, there's a full-length documentary on the director, and it is utterly engrossing and fascinating. You'll watch it, and you'll watch it more than once. It is a great documentary. Number 11 on the Arrow video list, Boy the Eye, Donald Cammell. You gotta check this out. Number 10 in my Wes Craven entry it's the Scream Factory one, and it is The People Under the Stairs. I really dug this film. There's a lot of Wes Craven ones I could have chose. I could have chose my personal favorite, like close to my heart, Deadly Blessing. But I think as a Halloween one, this makes a really cool watch. It's got got kind of a dark humor to it. It's got a great cast. It runs really fast. It's kind of brisk, well paced, very well done movie. A lot of great cool twists and turns in it. You got for you Twin Peaks fans, there's like 2 Twin Peaks actors in here, and just some really incredible stuff. People Under the Stairs also have some great features as well. Definitely check it out. It's a great release by Scream Factory, and it's a great film by Wes Craven. It deserves to be to get more recognition than it does. And that, my friends, is number 10. Number 10 on the other side of it is my Dario Argento one for this list, and it is Tenebrae. I don't think it's a big surprise when you guys know I'm a huge fan of Tenebrae. This is an incredible film. Suspense-wise, it's just amazing. The soundtrack I love on this film one here. It's probably one of my favorite Argento soundtracks, and I found myself like listening to it because I've got the soundtrack there on the Synapse edition of it. I just love the soundtrack to this. It's really good. If you haven't checked out Tenebrae, please do so. It is an amazing edition. This Arrow edition also probably is a great edition as well. There's features on here that aren't on the Synapse one, so if you're a really big fan of this film, you actually got to have both versions to get like the ultimate edition. Sucks, I know, but it's true. But this is great. It's worth it. Just an amazing film, a great mystery. Love the reveals on this one here. It tries to cheat you a little bit, but I like the way that they did it because they do it does seem like it's trying to cheat a bit, but I think they do a good job in the way they twist the story a bit on you, and it's just so well done. And that ending is just incredible. When Derry Nicolotti screamed on this one, man, she was screaming her heart out, and it was incredible. Everything about this movie I love. Check it out. Great film. Number 9 on the Scream Factory is my favorite in the Sleepaway Camp franchise. Actually, not the original. I think the original was great. I think that had a decent cast. It's a nun cast because most of them are nun actors. Felissa Rose did a great job for her role in the film. But for me, Sleepaway Camp 2, Pamela Springsteen takes over the role of Angela Baker. She does an amazing job. Tongue firmly planted in cheek. Some great gore effects on here. A great cast. Some great nods to both to Leatherface, to Freddy and Jason as well. She made her mark and became like a horror icon in her own right. Angela Baker is amazing. There's some awesome gore in this. There's some definitely deadly kills, and it is such a great film to watch. Fun overall. It is my favorite of all the Sleepaway Camp films. I really wish Pamela Springsteen would talk about it a bit, just not mind it, because she did a great job. She has nothing to be ashamed of. She created Felissa Rose brought the character in there, but she created this super psycho slasher killer horror icon that you love. And you definitely made me a happy camper with Sleepaway Camp 2. I love this edition. Number 9 on the Arrow edition is one of my personal favorites, Eaten Alive. People don't give this a lot of credit, usually because here's the movie that came out after a masterpiece, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So he had a lot to live up to. But you got to take this film as its own film and not, hey, this isn't Texas Chainsaw Massacre, because when you do, it was a really great film. It's got a fantastic cast in here. When Marilyn Burns is back, we've got Robert Englund in here. There's like a ton of great actors in this one here. And I love this movie. This is a great edition of this film. Just incredible stuff on here. Arrow just went all out with this amazing Blu-ray. I love Eaten Alive. I think it's a really fun film. I think Marilyn Burns does a great job, and I think everybody does a great job in this film here. And the Buck line right from the beginning, you gotta love that. It's a fun, gory, awesome Louisiana Bayou type horror film that you check it out. Let it be something that you check out. I know you guys probably check like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, or maybe check out Tobe Hooper's Poltergeist or something like that. Give Eaten Alive a try. Really deserves to get that attention and get that notice, because it's a much better film than people will let on. I keep having to go through this. Number 8 is New Year's Evil. I really dug this film. It was much different than I thought it was going to be. As you can see, it's the first non-collector's edition that I put on here. I found this really fun. It took a much different approach than I thought it was going to take, and definitely deserves number 8 on the list. New Year's Evil, basically, you got Roz Kelly, who was a famous actress at the time, especially for like stuff like she acted on Happy Days, and she was given a kind of like a big character that was going to be like have a prominent role, but that didn't work out, and you know, she walked away from it, but she came on this one, so you kind of think that she's going to be the main focus, but actually the killer in this one here, unlike others we see like the final girl kind of like being the focus, the killer and like his quest to do this kind of insane like methodology, and how he screws up so often and how he's trying to do it. You really do get, like when you see some movies like Halloween or Black Christmas, and you kind of get like that eye view of the killer. This one takes to that next step and actually lets you see, you know, it's not so easy being a killer, especially in this film. He doesn't always get people get away. It's a really interesting film. I really had a lot of fun with it. Number 8 on the Scream Factory list is my one, Mario Bava one. This was a very hard decision, but at the end of the day, this is one that does creep me out, especially one of them, and that is Black Sabbath. It is a really cool, creepy one, and you see that, like, yeah, that creeps the hell out of me. I really found that scary. It is a cool anthology film. It's a great one. You know, when you're watching the anthology films, and you got your creep shows, you got your Tales from the Crypt and all that stuff, get this one in there. It is a fantastic little film. Bava did a great job with it. There's a couple different editions. There's the Italian edition of this one. There's an American edition of this one. It's got two. It's got like basically 2 different scores, and there is a difference. Like the films themselves are there's a different ending on the on both editions, and the stories are done in a different like different order, and that actually does make a difference. Black Sabbath, check it out. It's my Mario Bava selection for Halloween from Arrow. Next up is number 7, and this is my George A. Romero, and it is, of course, Day of the Dead. I just love this movie. It's so fun. It's, you know, it's darker than Dawn of the Dead. I think it does a great job. It definitely took a while to find its legs. And again, it's called status and called audience, but it did, and it just did an amazing job of it. I thought the cast in this one was fantastic. Some people thought it was too bleak, or thought it was too claustrophobic. I thought that actually helped and added to the film itself. It's not meant to be Dawn of the Dead. It's not meant to be Night the Living Dead. Each film was different and a progression. I thought this was a natural, great progression of the films. Day of the Dead was just a really, really cool addition. Definitely check it out. Great documentary on here as well. Day of the Dead, number 7. Number 7 on my Arrow video list is one that I really did fall in love with, because you know what? They introduced these characters, and unlike a lot of typical slashers, there wasn't a character that I wanted to see get killed off. I really did kind of like get invested in the characters. It was just a cheesy, cheap horror film. And went way beyond that, and that is The Mutilator. By sword, by pick, by axe, and bye-bye. I did love this film. I didn't expect to love this one as much as I did, but I really did. It's just an incredible film. It's very well done. There's no guessing who the killers or anything like that. It's pretty obvious. It's got a kind of a hokey opening. Kind of dug it. It's kind of different, but just really cool. What makes this one really stand apart from a lot of slashers of the time is that I found the actors to really come off as having like a serious camaraderie. I could buy them as friends. I could buy that they knew each other for a while, and you didn't have the typical stereotypes like you do normally. And there wasn't anybody like, oh, I want to see that person get cut off. I actually felt bad when people got cut off in this one here. So that's a good sign. And the murders are actually pretty well done. There's actually some really cool scenes in this film. This is a great addition. Cool little. Didn't change the slip on that one because I must have really liked it. But there is like a alternate artwork. I'm kind of curious now, so we'll look at that one. I'm not going to take a lot of time. Yeah, I really was big on the Fall Break cover. So that's why I didn't change it over. Normally I do change it over because I'll just leave the slip to have the new artwork, and I'll put the other old artwork on the outside. But this one I just really dig this artwork. It's really cool. So number 6 on the Scream Factories is The Burning. Not a hard choice there. The Burning is a great film. It's part of the 82 horrors. 1982 was a great year for horror films. It was an amazing year for slasher films. Both The Burning, Friday the 13th, and Madman all came out in that same year. There were a lot of really cool movies that came out in 1982. Just go look it up. I think Horror Hound, this is 82, right? Or was it 82 or 81? We'll just make it liar, but no, 81. So Horror Hound actually did a whole issue based on films like the Year in Horror 1981, and that's when all those films came out. By the way, I just totally messed that up. But it's late here, and I've had to do this video 3 times. The Burnings are really cool. And Tom Savini bypassed Friday the 13th Part 2 to do the special effects on this one here. He did a great job. Cropsey is a really cool looking killer. Kind of gives away the look a little bit right there. But yes, it's a really fun film. Got some great actors in it as well. We got Jason Alexander, actually kind of a cool character, kind of guy you want to hang out with. Holly Hunter's in this one as well. I really did like this film. If you haven't checked it out, I do recommend it. It's a great one for Halloween. The Burning. Number 6. Number 6 on my arrow is one that I recently got from my good friend James, actually, and I really kind of like. I hadn't seen the movie in a while. Turned it on, watched it, fell completely in love with it again, and I do recommend it. Takeshi Miike and Mickey Mikai. I know that somebody actually got it, like did the pronunciation down below, and I apologize for still not getting it right. But Mickey, either way, his name is reversed anyway because that's what they do. But it's Audition. Audition is a really cool film. I do recommend this one. It is a great addition. Sorry, guys, to your collection. There's some great features on here as well. The movie just really kind of like makes you think, but it doesn't take you out of it. It's just a great film. Plays around with the with basically the reality of the film, the whole timeline of the film. It's just done so well. I really like the Audition. It is just an incredible film and a really cool watch. Number 6. We're getting down to the top ones. We're down to the top 5 in each. So, number 5 for me is a real cool gothic horror from Scream Factory. Although I do like the funness of Part 2. For Halloween, you really got to get this one in here. It's a really cool one. It's almost like a story you could tell around a campfire, and that is Pumpkinhead. Lance Henriksen does an amazing job in this film here as a grieving father that just wants revenge, and then slowly begins to realize maybe that's not exactly what he wants, and maybe this is getting out of control. Pumpkinhead would have many sequels. They're probably going to remake this thing, actually. But I really do like this. This is a really good movie. Touching, and just Stan Winston did this. He did an amazing creature design. Love this film. Pumpkinhead really does deserve to be on your Halloween, and it should be on your Halloween list anyway. It's a great Pumpkinhead, Charlie Brown. Have it on your list. Number 5 on the Arrow Video side of it is a really cool one. It's by the Chiodo Brothers. Obviously, you know what that is right now, and that is Killer Clowns from Outer Space. It's a really fun film. Man, you got John Vernon in here, so you know this is going to be some really cool stuff. Killer Clowns just has great effects in it. I love this movie. When I first picked it up, I was like, this is going to be atrocious. That was years ago. Obviously, I was wrong. Completely fell in love with it. It was an amazing film. It was funny. Tongue in and right through cheek. It is just so well done. The villains are really good. And me, as a guy that really doesn't like clowns, I actually had a lot of fun with this movie, and I've watched this one so many times. A great one. I have the MGM edition of this one as well. But Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Check it out, guys. If you haven't seen it, treat yourself. It's a really good film. If you have seen it, revisit it during the Halloween season. It's a perfect one. Number 4, and the John Carpenter on the list. Yes, we've gotten to the John Carpenter. Obviously, it's not the complete Halloween collection because no box sets or any of that stuff. So how was I going to choose? And it was between a couple that I really wanted to go with. I didn't want to cheat by taking Halloween 2 or 3 from the single editions. I wanted it to be something different. I wanted to give you guys something that isn't Halloween. That's John Carpenter to check out at that time. And it's a very cool, very atmospheric film. One that's very personal, favorite of mine, and that I really love, and that is The Fog. It's got an amazing cast. We've got Tom Atkins, we got Adrienne Barbeau, we got Hal Holbrook, we got Jamie Lee Curtis, we got Janet Leigh. Just an incredible film, a great old-fashioned ghost story. Basically, a town is paying for the sins of the of the older town of basically years ago. I don't want to give it away. Vengeful ghosts wreaking havoc on a town for its past indiscretions. There, we'll go with that. The Fog's a great film. Check it out. If you haven't seen The Fog, definitely give it a watch. If you have seen it, rewatch it. It's a really cool one for Halloween. It's got that cool kind of like, just like Pumpkinhead, it has a cool, really kind of atmospheric tone that you really want to have during this time. It's a great all-star cast. Number 3 in my one David Cronenberg is Shivers. I just really love this film. It really harkens back to my childhood. I remember seeing this one when I was way, way too young to watch something like Shivers. Parts of it like actually terrified me, and I think it's a really great film that really stands the test of time right now. This is an amazing edition of it. Obviously, I got the upgrade when they did it. Although I liked the film anyway, there wasn't really enough missing of the film for me to like notice. But it was cool that they did an upgrade and like sent it out to me, and put some extra stuff into the documentary as well. So Shivers, great film. If you haven't checked it out, please do. This is a really cool box, like a steelbook as well. I hemmed and hawed on whether I was going to include steelbooks, but I think, it deserved to be on there. It was just one that I thought was really cool. Number 3 in the Scream Factories, and a personal, this one is definitely a cool Halloween film by Kevin S. Tenney. It is the original Night of the Demons. Great film. Mila Kincaid's in this one. We got Kathy Podwell. We got the always amazing Linnea Quigley. This one really like takes the Halloween atmosphere of it. It's a great Halloween film. It's one you can really play on Halloween itself when you're doing like your when Halloween comes in. Like if you're doing like a marathon of movies, this is definitely one of the ones that I do suggest you play actually on Halloween. It really gets you in the mood for the whole holiday, the whole festive spirit of everything. They do a great job. There's a cool wraparound, kind of like almost like a mini story. That I just found a lot of fun as well. They do a great job this one here. The effects are cool, a little cheesy, but hammed up as it is, there's scenes like the lipstick scene you never forget, and it is a great film. Check it out. Number 3 on the Arrow video releases, and I went back and forth on like what was going to be the top one, but when I went with Fulci, I thought about the Gates Hell trilogy. I thought one of those, but no, I had to at the end of the day go with the one that I think I find all of Lucio Fulci's films very entertaining. But this one here, it just something about it I have so much fun with, and I watch this one over and over again. As Zombie Flesh Eaters, this is really fun. Zombie versus shark. Years before the whole shark thing would become a huge, shark to push Sharknado and all that stuff. Fulci knew he got the zombie versus shark scene in there. A really cool film, paced incredibly, just really tightly edited. A really fun film. I really enjoy it. It has like all the best of aspects of a Fulci film. Way more enjoying than I ever thought it was going to be. Zombie Flesh Eaters, check it out. It is a great release. Now we're down to our top 2 on each. So what's number 2 on the Scream Factory? Well, it's kind of a bedtime story. It's kind of a Grimm's fairy tale type of film. Hopefully you figured out what it is. You guys know it's one of my favorites, and it was actually the top release for me of that year for Scream Factory. And they have put out some like great special editions of that, but this one just topped it for me in that year. And that is the movie Dolls. I really do like this movie. I really enjoy it. Love Mr. Punch. I'm a huge Mr. Punch fan. Maybe I wonder if they got any Mr. Punches into. I want to go. I know Punch is big in the UK, so maybe I'll see if I can find a Punch for my son while I'm over there. Great great film. Love this one. It is so much fun. It goes around like 80 minutes or something like that. 77 minutes. So it's that sweet spot, not too long, just a perfect length, and you just really get into it. Awesome stuff. Dolls, great features on here, incredible edition. Check it out. It's a really fun film. I remember the video "Stand by Me," by a-ha. Incredible '80s video. If you don't know the song, check it out. If you do, watch the video again, because you know the girl. She's in this. She's not as nice in this, but the love interest in the a-ha video "Stand by Me" is also the blonde punk girl in here as well. And she had a very interesting death scene in here. Number 2 for the Arrow editions. I went back and forth on which one's going to be number 1 and which one's going to be number 2. Number 2 had to be this one. This is one of my favorite films, and obviously one of my favorite remakes of all time, or reboots, reimagining, if you want to say. And that is Philip Kaufman's Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I really love this film. I think it has an incredible cast. I think it's well done. The whole paranoia aspect of it is just so perfectly well done. It's set in just the right time. Politically, too, this one actually works so well today, just as it did back then. I love this movie. It pays great homage to its original, but it just goes, for me, and I do love the original. I love it a lot, but this one goes above and beyond what the original did, and it's just an incredible film. Number 1 for my Scream Factories is Terror Train. You knew it had to be there, but why number 1? You guys know this is a movie that scared me when I was a kid. This is a movie that scared me on Halloween because I couldn't see it. I could only hear it. You've probably heard the story many times in like Absolute Sublime's Halloween videos, or just me talking about it on its own. It's a great one. Obviously, there's a lot of costumes in it. It's a great killer. It's a great twist at the end of it. Love this movie. Definitely number 1 for me in the Halloween. You got the costumes, you got the killer, you got the slash, you got Jamie Lee Curtis. What else can you ask for? It is just a perfect Halloween film that's not called Halloween. One more. And it's kind of a cheat, but hey, it was done this way. I don't consider it like a box set or anything like that. And if you want me to choose one of them, I will. So I'll go with the first one. But it is Demons. Of course, Demons 2. That's just the way it was put together as a set. Both of them I think are a great double feature to watch. So there you go. This is Demons. Great Babel one. Demons 1, we'll go with that one. And I'll be right back. Hey there, so I'm back, and I just put the movies back and all that. So, hope you guys enjoyed that. That is 12 of my top Scream Factories and 12 of my top Arrow Video Halloween specific, not top Arrow releases, not top Scream Factory releases, top Halloween suggestions. So obviously there's so much Scream Factory, there's so much Arrow, there's so much good stuff that I don't have in my collection, or just that just didn't get onto this list right here. Feel free to to give me your suggestions down there as well, or if you do video, feel free to give a video response. I actually really love those things. It's been a long time since I've actually seen somebody do video response on here, to be honest with you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and for me right now, well, it's almost time for tea. I just got one more little thing to do. And if you watch my videos a lot, you know what it is. Thank you so much for staying for the after credits sequence, which I'm sure a lot of you guys, if you're regular viewers, are pretty used to by now. So I did give myself one more challenge, and I wanted to put that in there. Still making sure that I didn't use any directors that I had used before. I decided to take from both Scream Factory and Arrow Video, basically a top 2 list. Here's the criteria. One of them had to be one of the bigger releases. It'd have more than one disc. Had to have been in a bigger case type thing. So the special editions is what I'm talking about. The other one had to be a box set with multiple films in it. So here we go first with I started with the Scream Factory last time, so let's start with the Arrow. These are only 4, so just a little bonus to put on there. And this is one I had a lot to choose from. Now, obviously, I couldn't choose Tobe Hooper's Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 set or anything like that. Oh, because basically I used Tobe Hooper already in my with Eaton Live, so that knocked that director right out of the running, and that set as well. It also knocked another set, and I'll explain that later. And I chose Society by Brian Yuzna. I really, really love this film. This is one that's a personal favorite of mine. It's weird and trippy and strange and unusual, but it just happens for me to do everything right. It definitely has a bit of the grotesque into it, but it's an amazing film. I like these kind of feverish, kind of nightmarish, paranoid, dream-style movies, and this one just hits every mark that I want it to hit. It is a great addition. Not only does it have the a great film with a bunch of really cool bonus features, but also has the comic book sequel to the film, set 10 years later. Really enjoyed that. Really enjoyed the comics as well. Definitely recommend Society. If you don't have it, check it out. This is a special edition. I think this one's out of print, but even if you just get the regular edition of Society, the only thing you're missing is, I think it's the comic book. And it is a really, really great film. You want yourself to at least check it, Society, at least see it. It is a really awesome film and a great addition for Halloween. The Scream Factory one was the easiest one because they didn't have a lot of single editions that I would have considered to go in there. So the Clive Barker one had to be Nightbreed. Nightbreed is one of my favorites. When this was actually released originally, I wasn't going to get it. I was so incensed that it was going to cost so much. It was a limited edition, all that stuff. Not only do I have Nightbreed, but I bought my son Nightbreed for his birthday that year, and it is just a really cool edition of Clive Barker's work. So basically, if you haven't checked out Nightbreed, you really should. There is a regular edition out there, incredible stuff, and it is the director's cut. Some people prefer the theatrical cut. You can still buy the theatrical cut from Warner Archives if you didn't manage to get this edition here, but it is a great edition. There's some amazing stuff in here. Nightbreed is one of my favorite Barker films. Obviously, that meant that something was taken out of the running for Arrow sets. So when I did this, that meant that I couldn't choose the Hellraiser box set. That was suddenly taken out of the running because Scream Factory was limited in those bigger sets that they've done, and Nightbreed was definitely the one to go with. So what did I choose? Or what did I do for Arrow as the incredible Halloween box set? Now that the whole Hellraiser one was going to be out of the running for this list. Well, this one's out of print. It's a great one, and it is an amazing. It's like a week's worth of Halloween watching for you. Basically, you turn on one a day, and you got 6 movies plus the features and the bonuses and all that stuff, comic books, and yeah, it's pretty easy. It's the 6 Gothic Tales by Edgar Allan Poe, Fall House of Usher, The Pit and the Pendulum, Tales of Terror, The Raven, Haunted Palace, and Tomb of Ligeia. Vincent Price set. It is an amazing Vincent Price set. Just some great stuff. You can see the. I'll just take the book out really quickly because it was when they started doing these really amazing sets. 6 Gothic Tales here by Edgar Allan Poe. They got stuff on each one of the films. Some great. So you guys see. There's some great writing in here. Some great write-ups. Great articles. And because I'm a big kid, the really cool part for me, the Dell comic book adaptations that they did, just incredible. They actually adapted everything. So if there was other stories in there, whatever's in that comic book when it was released, the whole thing was adapted. I really did dig that fact. So if there was an ad at the back, that got put in as well. It's an amazing set, and it just has. Since it's our little end opening, we'll just go through it really fast. We got the Tomb of Ligeia there, amazing film, great special features. We got a Haunted Palace. Again, I had a lot of fun with this one here. Kim Newman on H.P. Lovecraft. You want to see that. We got the Raven, kind of a cool, fun one. And again, this one here has some great features on as well. Two Faces of Peter Lorre, 1961. Sorry, 61-minute documentary on Peter Lorre. You got Tales of Terror. Love the cover. I love the cover to Tales of Terror. It's really cool. And on this one we got like Kim Newman, Edgar Allan Poe. The director is Roger Corman. I watched that so many times. Cats and horror films. We've got the classic Vincent Price, Barbara Steele, Pit and the Pendulum. Again, another amazing film. Features on here as well as great stuff behind the Swinging Blade, An Evening with Edgar Allan Poe, 52-minute film that I think was put on as an actual movie for the last of the Scream Factory Vincent Price sets. And of course, the classic The Fall of the House of Usher. Love this film. Again, some great stuff on here. Fragments of the Usher, Legend to Legend. And of course, the book. It was an amazing set. I think I would have kicked myself if I hadn't if I just missed out on this set here. This one was just incredible. Tales of Six Gothic Tales. Love this set. It's amazing. So what did I choose for that one? Because I couldn't use John Carpenter. Remember, guys, I used John Carpenter already. I used John Carpenter when I showed you guys The Fog. So obviously I couldn't use John Carpenter's box set. I couldn't use the Halloween box set, even though Carpenter only directed the first film. It did kind of put it out of contention. So I wanted to go with something a little bit different, kind of a cool one for Halloween that not a lot of people think about. And it's a shame because that is a really cool box set and it never gets any kudos. I never ever hear anybody talking about it. And that is the Amityville Horror Trilogy. This actually has Amityville 3 in actual real 3D. So if you have a 3D TV, you really owe it to yourself to check this one out during the Halloween season when you're watching your Halloween, like your 3D horror movies. You're definitely going to want to have some days we're going to have like a 3D horror movie on there. Jaws 3D is a great one. Amityville 3D is actually a really, really good addition. It's got some great movies. You got the original Amityville on here. I love this case. For God's sakes, get out. You got a audio commentary on here with Hans Holzer. PhD in fair psychology. Got a documentary on here as well. This one here is totally filled up. This is a great one. I love this movie. This is my favorite one. Amityville 2, The Possession. There's a ton of features on there. We got an interview with the director, interview with the actors, a bunch of interviews, audio commentary. As you guys know, this one was pretty much had nothing on it for years. This one's here, special feature, is the 3D edition, and that's good enough. That is really, really cool edition to have on there. So there we go, guys. That's my little bonus added on to the end of the video. Some extra cool Halloween goodness. Hope you guys really enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. Gotta stay up for a little bit. Still doing some laundry. Have a great night, guys. And for me right now, it is seriously 100%. You can hear my voice is going, so you know that it is time for tea. Happy Halloween.